Hey guys, welcome back to Release the Craftin. Priscilla here with another make using some of the beads that we got in the Bargain Bead Box for June. I did this the month before. You guys really seemed to like it, so I'm going to keep doing it as long as I keep getting this box, because it's fun and I like doing it. So right now I'm just sort of reviewing everything I have, and I have decided that I'm going to turn this book into a journal in the future. So I'm going to make some like book jewelry, just jewelry specifically for the book. And of course the cover is not like at its final stage, but it's okay. I'm going to punch some holes, get an idea of where everything's going to sit, and then I'm just going to save it until I make this book, because I have a list of concepts that I would like to turn into journals at some point. But like this box of beads was too good to just like pass up on and not try to apply to this future concept I want to make. So we're going to make like an oceany themed, underwater, mysterious thing, a little bit of book jewelry to attach onto here. And like I said, this is not going to be the final form, so we're just going to do like a mock-up. I'm going to put it all together, and then I'm going to set it aside till I'm ready to use it. And I just wanted to say thank you guys for the positive responses that I got on the last one of these little makes, where I talked about like the problems with AI. You guys, there was some really good like discourse and dialogue in the comments, and really good questions and stuff like that. The question that I got asked, I think that was the most memorable to me, the one that I remember the most, is how to be able to know if you're looking at AI art or not, like to tell the difference between AI art and actual drawn art. And it's kind of hard to describe, like, in this format. So what I'm going to do is attach a couple of videos from other artists who go through showing you a lot of like the key indicators and like things to look for when you're looking at art to determine if it's AI or not. I'm going to attach some of those videos down below, because I think being a visual thing, it helps to have something visual to compare it to. And they do a really good job. They do a better job than I think I could do just telling you guys. But I can tell you right now that the things that I look for, like right off the bat, are things that are supposed to be symmetrical that aren't symmetrical. I look for things like odd shapes that don't make any sense even in an artistic way. I look for things that have repeating patterns that suddenly devolve, and not in like a cool abstract art sort of way, but in the AI doesn't really know that this plant's leaves are all supposed to look the same kind of way. And sort of stuff like that. I also look at characters to see, like, you know, do they have all their fingers? Do they have too many fingers? What are the hands actually doing? That's always a really good indicator, because, you know, hands are like hard to draw as like a human artist. So they're also like extra hard to draw for computers as well. So those are just a couple of the things that I can tell you to like look for that are usually like markers of stuff like that. I look for odd line placements, odd like shape placements, things that just would not make sense in an organic shape, especially when it comes to like people and plants and animals and stuff like that. That's what I'm looking for. As far as like the landscape ones and stuff, those ones are a little bit trickier. Things like buildings and stuff, that's a lot harder to distinguish. So at that point, you're looking to see if like the proportions make sense, if the lines go someplace. I think that's probably the best indicator on inanimate objects, because if you're looking at a building, and you know, buildings are straight lines, you know, up, down, and like if they just don't connect to the other side and that continues to happen, or windows just sort of melt into non-existence, those are good indicators. And that, I think, yeah, that's the best I can sort of give you descriptively as to how to distinguish AI art from actual art. It's not like a foolproof system, but there are a lot of ways to indicate it. And like I said, I'll link those videos below to help you guys look into that if you're interested in trying to be able to spot how to determine if what you're looking at is AI or not. A lot of the times too, I will say it's just a good practice to ask. So if you're on Etsy and you're looking at some digital kits and you're not sure if they're AI and you don't want to personally support AI, you can always reach out and ask the sellers. I've had sort of a mixed experience with this, but most people are generally fairly honest. that they're using AI. A lot of people will tell you that they're using AI but editing over it, or adding their own artwork to it. And then there are people who just straight up lie. So it is a mixed bag when you try to do that. A lot of people will take credit for the stuff that the AI does, and that's unfortunate. But there's not a lot, you can do outside of that point, except for hope that the person that you're interacting with or doing business with has, integrity, like at least business integrity, if not the artistic integrity that you were expecting when you came to that place. It's a little bit weird approaching the Etsy space and hoping that, since Etsy is supposed to be a handmade place made by artists to sell their stuff, that the people who are claiming to be the artists would then be transparent about whether or not they're making the art. But unfortunately, not everybody has the same perspectives or scruples when it comes to this sort of topic. But what I wanted to talk about instead was a sidestep to that, removing the whole conversation with myself as an artist and how I'm viewing the AI problem, because there's another problem with AI that I think people just haven't really addressed or cottoned on to quite as much as they should, in a way that's a little bit concerning. But it's the way that AI art is used to create things that spread misinformation. And I mean this in the sense that especially on Facebook, it is the most prevalent, but it creeps over into other things. I see it on Twitter occasionally, and I see it on Instagram every so often, and then I see it in advertisements as well, which makes me very mad, because that's deliberately misleading. And the fact that it gets published on places like Amazon just makes me absolutely irate, because no matter what, you're not going to receive what this AI has generated. So for example, in the case of false advertisements, there's a lot of products that are being generated on the AI, because AI can replicate lots of things, including fantasy furniture and bedroom layouts and houses and stuff like that. And you see that a lot. It's a lot of aesthetic post. It's really popular on TikTok to generate a bunch of cottagecore homes or a bunch of Gothic homes on the AI generator, and then be which one is the room for you, or which Gothic kitchen would you like? And those are fun conceptually to look through. They're relatively harmless, in the grand scheme of things. But what happens is that people will generate these fake rooms or fake furniture pieces on the AI, and then somehow that ends up being advertised by Amazon. I'm kidding you not. If you spend any time on Pinterest like I do, you will get a bunch of Amazon ads already, which is too many, but a lot of them are just AI art that they're here's this gorilla headed couch. I literally saw that this morning. It was a couch that was furry, and at the top it had a giant King Kong gorilla, and then the arms were the gorilla's arms, and it was so confusing to me. But when I clicked the link out of curiosity to be what the fuck, it actually goes to a post on Amazon selling this fake ass AI generated couch, and I was there's no way you're not gonna get anything close to this. This is already this would be $1 million couch, because you'd have to have an artist make this couch to even get it kind of close to looking like this, and that would take thousands of hours. But on top of that, it's just not something you can order on Amazon, and it doesn't even look real in the picture, but it's being advertised by Amazon. And I know the advertisements are auto-generated, but that's a problem. And then when you go to places like Facebook and stuff, I routinely have the people at my office show me. I don't go on Facebook, so sorry if you have been trying to contact me there, but people in my office, the girls in my office will regularly stop me to show me something that they saw on Facebook, and I have to keep telling them that's AI, that's not real. And it's stuff innocuous, really innocent looking things that you would think oh no, that's totally normal, but it's giant front yard plants that don't exist and don't have shadows, even though the rest of the yard has shadows, that kind of thing, where you're that's obviously to my eyeballs not real. But there are people out there who just aren't familiar with that, or aren't good at parsing through their photographs or the information that they're receiving, so they're believing 100% that these things are real, and they're showing it to other people, being oh my god, look at this is so cool, can you believe this? And I'm no, I can't, because it's actually fake. And it's so concerning to me, because I've seen that in regards to not just lawn plants, but also celebrity news and gossip, which is really concerning. If I was a famous nice person, I would be very concerned by the fact that people can put your image into an AI generator and put you in these potentially compromising situations. I've seen like fake celebrity deaths being generated by AI, and I've had people show them to me like they're legitimate things, and I have to like gently let them know like, hey, that's not a thing, like. And that's scary to me. Like, that's really scary. If you have like people circulating images of people dying or of people getting arrested and things like that, and just spreading this false information and then believing it, like, just because they showed it to me doesn't mean like they're going to show me everything so I can filter every image for them. They're going to, take a lot of those images home with them and, internalize that and spread that information and continue to share it and disperse those images. And that's really scary. Because it doesn't take much to think that people will put in fake things that could be potentially really harmful. Like fake disasters that would cause people to flee en masse from an area and might cause a mass casualty event of people trying to escape something that's not even happening. I know there was that dam that broke. What state was it? I don't remember the state. What I remember is that they took that image and then like added AI to it in order to say that like all these other dams were breaking in other areas, and people were commenting being like, oh my gosh, I live there, like I don't even know this is happening, do I have to evacuate, and like panicking. And so like it's a menace. They're causing this hysteria, they're causing this like unrest with just these simple misleading images that can really be damaging, and then attaching things that are like pseudo medical advice and like if you can find this herb it'll cure cancer, and it's fucking AI. And that's just so frustrating. And Facebook has already been, I think, we've all said every piece that we can say on Facebook, and how, it just becomes a place of misinformation and people circulating bad stuff. But then to add something that can generate images that people will believe because they're fairly realistic looking, to support this bad information is just awful. And then, apply that to like the political landscape, and you have an even bigger trash can fire than we already are currently experiencing. And I it's very upsetting. It's very like intimidating to me. It's a little bit overwhelming when I try to like visualize the entirety of how much of an impact this can have. And I guess like essentially the moral of all this is to just take it with a grain of salt and try to vet your images as best you can. And, if you see something online and it's got an outrageous claim to it, look and check and see if there's other sources that support that information and not just one random, like, person's post, because fuck, it's scary out there. So, like, be safe with your AI. I hope that, like, this conversation helps. And, hopefully, like, you got something to think about or something to talk about from this conversation. And I promise that the next bead box I make will not be about AI. Not all of these are going to be about AI. I just wanted to finish this and come to a conclusion. So yeah, that's going to be it for me, guys. I'm going to leave you here. I hope that you enjoyed the process and the discussion. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Until then, I appreciate your faces. Happy crafting. Bye!